Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the College of Global Public Health's graduation ceremony. Please rise for our special guests, administration, and faculty. Please welcome the members of this year's graduating class of 2017. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the College of Global Public Health's Dean and Director of the Global Institute of Public Health, Dr. Cheryl Healton.
Good morning. As Dean of the Global College of Public Health, I am privileged to welcome you this morning for your 2017 graduation ceremony. Today, nearly 300 of you will graduate. Like your family and friends, we are enormously proud of your accomplishments and consider it an honor to have been part of your academic lives over the past few years. As you leave Washington Square with your hard-earned degrees, I want to underscore how deeply needed your new expertise is and how timely your entrance is in today's workforce, or for those already working in public health, your continued dedication to the field. You need only see the headlines every day to know that your skill sets, knowledge base, and determined efforts are needed now more than ever. Peer-reviewed science and funding for critical public health initiatives are under fire. But where there are challenges, we in public health see opportunities. As you begin your careers or pursue other degrees, you now know that public health is more than a job. It's a calling to improve and save lives. With your diplomas firmly in hand, you are now poised to answer that calling. While NYU has granted degrees in public health for 40 years, like you, CGPH is young with big aspirations. Thank you for being a part of the formative years here as the college continues our ambitious work to reinvent the public health paradigm. You now join your alumni and can cheer us on as we work to achieve our bold goal of being in the top 10 schools of public health in the coming decade. We look forward to your inspiring contributions and wish you health and happiness as you embark on the next phase of your exciting career. Exercise your heart as much as your mind, and you will make a real difference, because caring is the greatest motivation of all. On the occasion of our second college graduation ceremony, we're honored to have a remarkable group of speakers to inspire you. In addition to your esteemed classmates and faculty, we're privileged to have with us NYU President Dr. Andrew Hamilton, NYU Executive Vice President for Health, Dr. Robert Byrne, and our keynote speaker, Dr. Helene D. Gale, CEO of the McKinsey Social Initiative. Helene, you might recall that back in 1996, I was your host when you received the Columbia University Medal for Excellence on May 15th of that year. We're honored to have you with us here at NYU just about 2 decades later to the very day. To begin the program, I'd now like to mention that this graduation will be the last for 2 of our speakers, Dr. Bob Byrne and our Senior Associate Dean of Academic Affairs, Dr. Perry Halkitis. Bob Byrne is retiring this summer after devoting nearly 40 years to NYU. He is a true friend and champion of all things public health. And our Senior Associate Dean for Academic Affairs, Dr. Perry Halkitis, is also departing this summer for Rutgers University after nearly 20 years here at NYU, where he will be the Dean of its School of Public Health. Bravo, Perry. Please join me in a heartfelt round of applause for them and for their extraordinary service to NYU. I'd now like to welcome Dr. Bob Byrne to the podium. Bob has been a great champion for the establishment of the college and has worked tirelessly on behalf of the field of public health, both here at NYU and around the world. Please join me in a warm welcome for Bob Byrne.
Good morning, everyone. What a great day. I want to congratulate the entire public health community for their remarkable accomplishments And a special shout out for Perry. Our students, faculty, and administrators have exceeded every expectation, and improved healthcare around the world is the result. Under Dean Cheryl Healton's inspiring leadership, the sky is the limit. And of course, a special congratulations to the class of 2017, a class that has helped to define the College of Global Public Health since its founding 2 years ago. Congratulations. When I was sitting where you are today in the 1970s, there was political turmoil, global conflict, and an uncertain economy. Sound familiar? My only advice is to be true to yourself and stay the course. Regardless of the prevailing politics or economic conditions, public health will need talented, well-educated, and committed professionals such as yourselves if we are to move the dial towards better health care for all. You have a chance to affect the lives of many people through your work, and I know you will. You have made a career choice that I am confident will be tremendously fulfilling while you improve our healthcare system and the health of people in this country and around the world. Congratulations to you all. Today I have the pleasure of introducing President Andrew Hamilton. Andy began as president just a year and a half ago, and he has shown that NYU's incredible trajectory will continue under his leadership. Andy brings many things to NYU: great intelligence, a wealth of leadership experience, a lifelong commitment to academic excellence, deep knowledge of higher education, a highly competitive spirit, a firm belief in a global perspective, and a strong sense of what it takes to be among the very best. Plus, he has a terrific sense of humor. In his work as organic chemist and university leader, he is intimately knowledgeable about the health system, and I know that he is tremendously supportive of the faculty, staff, and students of the College of Global Public Health. Ladies and gentlemen, President Andy Hamilton.
Dr. Byrne, Dean Hilton, colleagues, family, friends, and most of all, the outstanding class of 2017. It is wonderful to be here with all of you this morning on this gloriously sunny day. Let's just all be thankful that graduation did not take place in the torrential rain on Saturday. But I am thrilled to be here with all of you and to have an opportunity to say a few words to the College of Global Public Health community. And you are a most impressive community. At this, only the second commencement ceremony in the college's young life, we celebrate this very important milestone and the accomplishment of 137 undergraduates and 143 graduate students. You students are a very diverse group, representing 39 countries and speaking more than 30 languages. You are embarking on exciting new initiatives and have participated in the development of those initiatives during your time here at the college. Initiatives like the Cross-Continental Masters of Public Health, whose inaugural graduates have a very loud voice, but also spent a third of the year here in New York, a third in Accra in Ghana, and they've all just arrived back from several months at NYU's Abu Dhabi campus. But the world is far larger for all of you. Many of you have completed capstone projects and internships in Greece, in Israel, in Italy, Madagascar, Uganda, and Ukraine. Today, we celebrate this terrific class of 2017 in a very special location, the historic Town Hall, which was many decades ago established by a group of suffragettes as a meeting place for the public to gather and to become more educated. If you look around this historic hall, you'll see that there are no box seats. This was intentional. Its architects brought to life the democratic principles that no seat, no matter who might occupy it, no seat would ever have an obstructed view. And in fact, this place, the town hall, is the birthplace of that famous phrase, "Not a bad seat in the house." And you can all see that. And let me say, in 1921, Margaret Sanger, a controversial advocate at that time for women's reproductive rights, she was arrested on this very stage. Female artists, icons, and thought leaders, from Marian Anderson, Billie Holiday, Sarah Vaughan, Nina Simone, to Eleanor Roosevelt, those are just a select few who have graced this stage. And our keynote speaker this morning follows in those very impressive footsteps. She has been a powerful role model for women and a champion for public health around the world. Helene Gayle is the Chief Executive Officer of the McKinsey Social Initiative, a nonprofit organization that implements programs that bring together varied stakeholders to address complex global social challenges. She's also served as the president and CEO of CARE USA, a leading international humanitarian organization. Dr. Gayle is an expert on global development, humanitarian, and health issues. She devoted 2 decades of service to the US Centers for Disease Control, working primarily on HIV/AIDS, and then she worked for the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, directing programs on HIV/AIDS and other global health issues. She was named one of Forbes' 100 most powerful women. She's authored numerous articles on global and domestic public health issues, poverty alleviation, gender equality, and social justice. She is an absolutely perfect person for us to have here this morning as we celebrate the College of Global Public Health's 2017 graduation. Ladies and gentlemen, would you all join me in giving a very warm NYU welcome for Dr. Helene Gayle.
Well, thank you, President Hamilton, for that very, very kind and rousing introduction. It is really so great to be here with all these distinguished faculty, the staff, the graduates, the family of the graduates, and everyone gathered here. And it's also a real pleasure for me to be here to support the great work of my friend and esteemed colleague, Dean Hilton. She has proven once again that she is a true public health innovator. So thanks so much for the invitation. It's wonderful to be here. And as has already been said, the College of Global Public Health has already earned its mark as a really, really visionary institution, embracing the reality that health is truly global. Today's complex challenges really do require a different kind of problem solving. And I think this truly integrated and interdisciplinary model that's been created is what the world really needs today. So it is really my honor and privilege to be part of this wonderful day, and as mentioned, is part of in this incredibly historic building. And graduates, I hope that you are leaving here with a real sense of accomplishment and an appreciation for how valuable your time here has been. I also hope that you'll remember the bonds that you've created here and formed with your fellow students, with faculty, and with staff, and hope that you will take a moment to really feel these relationships and to reflect on the life-changing moments that you all have spent together. These are the kinds of friendships and relationships that are going to be even more important for you as you continue to navigate your life and your careers. So remember what it felt like today at this very unique moment with these people who have played such a special role in your life. And then there's another group of people I want to acknowledge. They're here today because they believed in all of you, they supported you, and they made sure that you got this wonderful education. So before we go on any further, let's hear it for the graduates, parents, families, and loved ones. Thank you for helping to create these wonderful public health future leaders. Now, I don't want to spoil the celebratory mood, but there is another side to graduations. You're about to embark on another part of your life journey, leaving the relative security of the academic environment to put what you learned into practice. I know it's exciting, but it probably is also a bit overwhelming at times. These are, after all, challenging times and a very complex moment in our history. Today, across the country and around the world, we see deeply divided political landscapes. Income inequality is reaching levels that haven't been seen since the Great Depression. Racial and religious tensions are being manifest in deeply disturbing ways. Science and even facts are being questioned. Now, with all the challenges swirling around, sometimes it might be easier to adopt kind of a bunker mentality, to just wait until someone else fixes it and then stick your necks out again. But obviously, that is not the choice that you have taken. You have already taken an affirmative step towards action because you have chosen a career in public health. With the knowledge you've acquired, you have powerful new tools to make a difference in the health arena and a meaningful impact on the lives of people everywhere. That said, our science, our technology, and our know-how are just not enough. Even with all the advances we've made, we know that we are not where we should be or where we could be as a nation or as a world. Now, I know you all have studied a lot about the gaps in health between the US and poor nations, as well as between rich and poor and whites and communities of color here. That a mother in Afghanistan or Sierra Leone is 40 times more likely to die in childbirth than a mother in this country. That a child born in Somalia or South Sudan has about a 20 times higher chance of dying by her 5th birthday than a child in the United States. And then when we compare the US to other wealthy nations, we don't do so well either. We have the highest rates of preventable diseases compared to our peer nations, and we continue to have persistent gaps in health, in life expectancy, infant and maternal mortality, and disease outcomes that are linked to structural impacts of racism and poverty. The United States has some of the most sophisticated health technology in the world, but we still have one of the most unequal health systems and some of the most unequal health outcomes. We spend more and get less for our health dollars than other rich nations. Why? As a nation, we have the financial and other resources to provide everyone with high quality health care. After all, we spend $3.2 trillion on health care, a sixth of our national budget. We've got incredible technologies today that we would not even have dreamed of 5 or 10 years ago. So we need to ask ourselves, do we really have the will, the courage, the commitment to stand up for what is most essential? Do we have the will to stand up for justice and equity? Half a century ago, Martin Luther King said, of all the forms of inequality, injustice in healthcare is the most shocking and inhumane. If we want equity in health, we're going to have to fight for it and keep fighting. As an example, the recent House bill to replace the Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare, could strip at least 24 million Americans of their insurance. And by cutting Medicaid, hurt many of the 74 million poor, elderly, and disabled people who rely on it. Was that done from a lens of justice and fairness and equity, or a desire for power at all cost? I believe that it is once and for all the time that we affirm that the access to health services and health care is a right. It is as basic as access to education, clean water, and clean air. Access to quality health services is not, and should not be a privilege of the economically advantaged. We know that access to health services and health care is not the whole answer. We have to go further. We need to see the unbreakable links between health and other aspects of society. Health and social and economic well-being are all threads in the same societal fabric. As health professionals, we have vital roles in making that fabric stronger, along with families, schools, businesses, religious institutions, governments. We all have a part to play. And if we start from a very simple premise that every life has equal value, then we should be able to find the will to demand health equity. Anything less than that demeans us as a nation, demeans us as a world community. Now, when I was growing up, I didn't plan to be a health professional. All I knew at that time was that I wanted to do something that allowed me to make a difference in society. But I began to realize the central role that health plays in the lives of people and communities. One of the reasons that I went from medicine to public health and then to fighting global poverty is that my work as a pediatrician taught me that the tools of health and medicine can only go so far to end poor and unequal health. So that's why I was pleased to see a school like this one that is breaking down silos and teaching students to work across sectors and across disciplines. It makes me hopeful that you will be in the vanguard of those who truly know what it takes to make systemic change. You are the public health pioneers. Economic and social justice is core to building healthy societies. To improve the health of nations, individuals, families, communities, and nations, we also have to advocate and work for improving education, the environment, jobs, housing. Communities that are economically healthy have healthier populations. Good schools help to prepare people for good jobs. As employment and income rise, obesity falls along with alcohol, drug abuse, suicide, and violent crime. When streets are safe, our children spend more time outside and get more exercise and are healthier. Now, I've been fortunate to work with incredible organizations, the Centers for Disease Control, the Gates Foundation, CARE, and now the McKinsey Social Initiative, that have allowed me to live my passion for social justice and equity. I hope that all of you will find ways to put your passions into action. One of the wisest pieces of advice I've ever heard was from a legendary preacher named Howard Thurman. He said, "Don't ask yourself what the world needs, ask yourself what makes you come alive, and then go do that, because what the world needs is people who have come alive." In this moment of growing gaps between rich and poor, black and white, Muslim and Christian, remember the awesome opportunity and the awesome responsibility that you've chosen. In the never-ending struggle for justice, fairness, and equity, public health can truly be a partner for change. And the public health community has always been an important ally in the fight for social justice and equity. We have unsurpassed experience in reducing health disparities driven by social inequity and working for change in low-income communities. We know how to build partnerships. We know how to reach people through education. And most of all, we have a proven commitment to human rights. They include the right to drink clean water, the right to breathe clean air, the right to live in an environment free of toxins, to receive life-saving medicines and vaccines, and the right of a woman to control her own body. Next year will be the 70th anniversary of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Eleanor Roosevelt, who was mentioned earlier, was one of my all-time sheroes. And she was the driving force behind this charter. In it, she gave the world a roadmap to follow in the fight for justice and peace. In characterizing human rights, she said, "Where, after all, do universal human rights begin? In small places, close to home, so close and so small that we cannot see any of them on a map. Yet they are the world of the individual person, the neighborhood he lives in, the school or college he attends, the factory, the farm, or office where he works. Such are the places where every man, woman, and child seek equal justice, equal opportunity, equal dignity, without discrimination." Well, these are the places in which we operate as public health workers in neighborhoods, schools, factories, and farms. We work where people live, we go where people need us, and we fight for justice and dignity as part of our fight for public health, so that all people everywhere can have healthy, productive lives that they deserve. So, my dear graduates, if we maintain the will to pursue our highest ambition, the struggle for equity and justice, we can leave legacies of healthy communities and health equity for generations to come. And in doing so, I believe we can also overcome some of the greatest challenges of our time. Thank you for the work you are about to embark on. Now let's do it. Congratulations to the 2017 graduating class. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Julia Cartwright, and I'm Associate Dean of Communications, Promotion, and Public Affairs here at the college. It's now my honor to invite our 2017 undergraduate student speakers to the podium. Natasha Puri graduates today with a Bachelor of Science, a combined major in Global Public Health and Science, and a minor in Social Entrepreneurship. Natasha has been an active youth advocate in promoting patient and physician human rights, health policies combating structural violence, and public health prevention efforts. Through her work with the United Nations Youth Assembly, Physicians for Human Rights, United Way, and extensive public health experience, Natasha understands the importance of prevention and social determinants of health. Her papers have been published in 4 journals. Among these papers is a study examining distribution of cardiovascular health among veterans. Natasha has served on the College of Global Public Health Student Governing Council, taught health curriculum to high school students across New York City, is a contributor to the Huffington Post, and a co-founder of Empathy, an app addressing mental health among college students. In January, Natasha pitched the concept on behalf of her team to the UN. In addition to her Bachelor of Science, Natasha received a certificate in healthcare leadership from Cornell University. Please join me in welcoming Natasha Puri.
President Hamilton, Dr. Gale, Dr. Byrne, Dr. Hilton, deans, faculty, families and friends, and graduates. Congratulations to the class of 2017. 2017. Let me take you back 96 years ago to 1921. Seems distant, doesn't it? Not quite. Take a moment and look around this beautiful space we've gathered in today, New York City's Town Hall. 96 years ago, January of 1921, this very town hall opened. Commissioned by the League for Political Education, this hall was built with the purpose of bringing people together from all different walks of life and discussing important matters of the day. As such, the design reflected this mission. Box seats were not part of the blueprint, and designers ensured that every seat would have a good view. This principle led to the town hall's mantra, "Not a bad seat in the house." I think it is so fitting that our college commencement is taking place in this hall that honors each seat, just as the College of Global Public Health has honored each of us. On November 13th of 1921, Margaret Sanger, an American birth control activist, educator, and nurse, stood on this very stage for the final session of the first American Birth Control Conference. This was an historic gathering of scientists, physicians, demographers, advocates, and socialites. Margaret Sanger began addressing the audience. She was stressing the importance of engaging in a dialogue, amalgamating diverse perspectives, and the necessity of birth control. Just minutes into her address, she was arrested and carried off this very stage for attempting to speak about contraception to an audience of both men and women. As I stand here today on this same stage, I feel an overwhelming sense of gratitude. Just like 1921, our 2017 class is comprised of individuals with diverse backgrounds, personalities, and dreams. And unlike 1921, a woman can stand on this stage and speak to both men and women. Despite being arrested, with a world of people against her, Margaret Sanger demonstrated a fixed determination coupled with an indomitable will. She opened the first birth control clinic in the United States and founded organizations empowering women to champion their own lives and fulfill their dreams. So what made Sanger believe in her vision despite the opposition she faced? What gave her the strength to be both persistent and patient? As global public health students, our major is much more than a field in academia. It's the real world. It's the foundation of one's life, one's well-being. Global public health is about discovery, innovation, never accepting the norm. That is what unifies our class. We have this willingness to recreate. We are activists, singers, athletes, to be doctors, to be epidemiologists, but most importantly, we are human. We have the ability to feel, to understand one another. And so we get scared, we feel anxiety, and I think it is important to realize that this is okay. These feelings, these fears, they only propel us forward. They make us realize what we need to work on, what our weaknesses are, and they give us an opportunity to grow and experience. I think we often pride ourselves on being certain, but the true value lies in how comfortable we are being uncertain. The past 4 years, we have been accustomed to a routine, one that we're all too familiar with. And as we enter a new era, one that perhaps is uncertain, it is important that we focus on the process, because it is the process that will guide us and the process that will become us. One of the greatest lessons I've learned in my last 4 years here is that everything is a lesson and everyone is a teacher. The roommate who was always loud, the friend who was not there for you when you needed, the professor who you could never understand, the boss who never acknowledged your work. These people were all teachers. The roommate who taught you patience, the friend who taught you acceptance, the professor who taught you dedication, and the boss who taught you hard work never goes to waste. I want to remind all of you, have the courage to stand alone. It is only with such belief in yourself that others will see the same in your idea. We innocently want to avoid negative feelings or distance ourselves from obstacles that are too complex to fathom. Perhaps it's because we feel helpless and we think our solutions are insufficient. But we are at a time in history in which there are 1.8 billion youth in the world, the largest population of youth ever. Youth engagement can truly revolutionize the world. It can foster a change that begins at the root, repairing and preventing adverse outcomes. We should strive to actively champion change, demonstrate compassion, and revolutionize the way we look at problems. We are at the forefront of discovery, and we are the bearers of innovation. Our access, scope, and diversity can diffuse boundaries if we ourselves do. Margaret Sanger had the stage, but the truth is, there is no platform too big or too small. Even a conversation is a platform of influence. I want to thank the College of Global Public Health. Thank you for creating this program that places value on making a difference. Thank you to the professors for teaching us how to think and being so dedicated to our growth. Thank you to our parents for giving us the opportunity to study at one of the greatest institutions in one of the greatest cities in the world. I want to personally thank my mom, dad, and sister for being my best friends and giving me unconditional support. I stand here today only because of them. Thank you to the class, to the students that have become friends, the undecided majors who have become change makers. I congratulate you all on this accomplishment, and I wish you best of luck in future endeavors. I cannot wait to see you all again, whether it be in some corner of the world or back here in New York City. Remember, a lesson can be learned from anything, and that is how we reinvent ourselves, our futures, our community, and one day, the public health paradigm. Thank you.
Thank you, Natasha. The next speaker is Emily Sanders. Emily graduates with a Bachelor of Science with a combined major in Global Public Health and Science and minors in Spanish and Chemistry. She's a university scholar and a varsity athlete for the women's swim team, consistently achieving the University Athletic Association's all-academic team honors and intercollegiate honor roll. Throughout her college career, she has worked with the NYU's branch of the national nonprofit Peer Health Exchange, an organization whose mission is to empower young people with the knowledge, skills, and resources to make healthy decisions. Emily has been a health educator, leadership council member, and now co-coordinator of the program where she directly helps supervise a cohort of over 100 college volunteers and helps with the citywide total of approximately 500 volunteers. Here she focuses on increasing the program's diversity and promoting health equity through education for all identities, genders, and backgrounds, with a primary focus on advocacy for the LGBT youth. She works for the Parkinson's Foundation as a member of the patient engagement team, providing education and advocacy to the Parkinson's community, specifically underserved communities and women with Parkinson's. In January, her team received a $250,000 government grant to create the first national initiative for women with Parkinson's. This fall, she will be attending Boston University on an activist achievement scholarship to pursue her Master of Public Health in Healthcare Management to hopefully one day work in policy management for LGBTQ and minority healthcare. Emily.
Thank you, Dean Cartwright, and to Natasha, and now I hope everyone can understand why I was so nervous to follow her. So about 2 weeks ago, I was teaching one of my final classes as a peer health educator to a class of freshmen at the Art and Design High School. Although pretty rare, I finished the lesson with a few minutes to spare. Since it was their final workshop, I like to give them all an opportunity to ask anything they want about health, life, college, and remind them I'm more of a peer than a teacher. One young student, and let me remind you these are freshmen in high school, instantly raised their hand, and when I called on them, they said, "In TV and movies, people are always saying they found themselves in college. Do you think you found yourself?" So, yeah, I wasn't expecting that either. I do think I gave a decent and quick on-the-spot answer about how I was unsure, but definitely more confident in myself now than I was at 14, which is completely true. However, I kept thinking about that long after I left. And as I continue to talk to you all today, I want all of you to think as well, parents, faculty, graduate students included, do you think you found yourself in college? Now, when I sat down to write my remarks for today, I rewrote my next few sentences somewhere between 500 and 500 times. For someone who normally has a lot to say, I didn't know why I was struggling to find my words. Then I realized my issue was always in the first word, I. I have, I will, I am, I did. While my work with Peer Health Exchange, with the Parkinson's Foundation, with college athletics, could offer some great personal insights, that's just it. They're personal and unique to me. Yet when I look back at my experience here in CGPH, it is anything but individual, and I mean that in the best ways possible. NYU prides itself on sending students out into the world who are independent and strong, and I am incredibly grateful for that. However, that is something that comes naturally from living in New York City. And when I look back at my college career, I was trying to think about what I learned in the College of Global Public Health that made it so unique and meaningful to all of us. To me, that is that our college and our field is collaborative and communicative. There are plenty of majors and colleges that produce hardworking, yet fiercely competitive and protective individuals, which of course can often lead to success, but not often in public health. CGPH and public health is not an I field. Our college is one that centers around we. We have discussions, debates, we love to prove each other wrong and be proven wrong. We want to learn the best ways to do things. Our professors want us to question them. We support each other, we challenge each other. We want to hear other voices and to lift those voices up because often the groups, communities, and populations we are trying to support aren't heard on their own. That is what makes our college so powerful. We are above all a community of people working towards a common goal, and although that work can take many different forms, the shared quality I have seen in all of us is our compassion. Yes, I am a strong, independent, and resilient person, as many, if not all of you are. Yet many of those qualities, some of my most prominent qualities, come from trying, difficult, and unfortunately negative experiences. Yes, I know we need those to shape us, but we need the good ones too. And you don't often find a compassionate and collaborative individual who is only filled with negative experiences. They have let the positive ones shape them. And that is what CGPH is filled with, positive experiences. Okay, so back to if I think I found myself in college. I still can't give you a clear yes or no answer, but I can tell you what I have found. I found other people. In high school, I was always trying to define myself by what others thought of me, and I often found myself alone. In college, on the other hand, I have come to find the best way to define myself is but what I can do for others, and I'm surrounded by people trying to help me so they can do the same. If that isn't public health, I don't know what is. We are collaborative, communicative, independent, strong, and compassionate people, and I am so honored to have gotten the chance to work with you all, and I'm sure to continue working with many of you. Thank you to all of you, students, faculty, and administration of CGPH, for some of the most challenging, positive, and eye-opening years of my life. And I'm sure not only I, but we cannot wait for what's to come. Congratulations, class of 2017.
I'd now like to welcome our graduate student speakers to the podium. Join me in a warm round of applause for Nodar Kipshidze and Catherine LaPuente. Nodar Kipshidze graduates with a Master of Public Health with a concentration in global health. Prior to attending NYU, Nodar completed his Bachelor of Arts in English at Franklin and Marshall College. Through his undergraduate tenure, Nodar was an avid researcher and innovator, publishing in a variety of peer-reviewed clinical research journals and filing several provisional patents. During his time at NYU, Nodar was appointed a membership ambassador with the American Public Health Association, while also lending his time as a member of the EPICOR team of ProMed's Emerging Disease Surveillance Network. His passion is the study of emerging infectious diseases and the interplay of a variety of factors that lead to the spread of novel pathogens, using a variety of tools and lenses, starting from the level of microbiology up to the level of population health. While at NYU, Nodar also completed an independent research project on the study of the Zika virus and its cross-reactivity with other flaviviruses. Under the mentorship of Dr. Elodie Gedden, Nodar hopes to one day pursue a doctorate in infectious disease epidemiology. After graduation, he will work in the centralized research office at NYU Langone Medical Center. Nodar?
Good morning, class of 2017. We did it. We made it. How does it feel? I can only speak for myself, but I imagine that we all feel a sense of relief for having completed our exams, our papers, our theses, our capstones, and of course, that almost obligatory feeling of anxiety for what is to come. That is almost a given with the unknown. The future is funny that way. They already have nostalgia for the past before time has even elapsed. In the long-standing, almost ancient tradition of commencement speeches, it is customary, along with the Latin recitals and monochromatic robes, to impart the graduating class with some sort of wisdom, a final lesson, if you will. I must, though, unapologetically briefly go over 3 key words we all learned in our epidemiology classes, and I swear to their relevance: person, place, and time. It is strange, is it not, that these 3 words, so often repeated to us, also carefully capture 3 of the most basic elements of being, do they not? We are, albeit unconsciously, thinking of who, thinking where, and thinking when. It is no surprise they form the clinical definition and the ability to orientate oneself in the world. It is said that with the loss of one of these, one is in a sort of psychosis. And perhaps some of us, many of us, felt ourselves in a perpetual psychosis, trying to decipher between an odds ratio from a risks ratio. But to briefly return to the themes of these elements, I think we must not forget we have been given the rare ability to orientate ourselves for the world, or at best, an urge to venture into the proverbial outside. And as we leave, I urge you, don't be wary of the challenge. The only challenges worth accepting are the ones that undoubtedly will lead to failure. I think our rhetoric is so often touted with a dialect of success, and yet to have truly learned something has meant to have failed at some point. And so it is my contention that this morning, collectively, we make a room full of failures. Believe me, I speak from experience. I can say that much of what has brought me here today, whether or not we wish to call it success, was a patchwork of failures, of missed opportunities, of disappointments. But they're what drives us. They push time in a forward motion. Imagine how boring life would be if one was always to be successful. After all, public health isn't in the business of appreciating success, but rather we are often brought in during the greatest failures, whether it be the failure of health systems, or the failures of policies, or the luckless failure of human biology. We've all made it this commitment, and in some ways, this makes us one of the same tribe. Don't ever forget your tribe. In Calvino's Invisible Cities, the Stoic Kublai Khan asks Marco Polo which specific stone is the single stone that supports the arch of the bridge. And in one of his witty aphorisms, Marco Polo responds, "The bridge is not supported by one stone or another, but by the line of the arch that they form. Without stones, there is no arch." And in much of the same way, without our collective tribe of stones, there would be no path that led us here today. And so I repeat again, don't forget your tribe. After all, imagine, it's one less person to clarify the difference between Jon Snow, the Game of Thrones character, and Jon Snow, the epidemiologist. And so perhaps I must admit that I've been greedy today, and that I was compelled to leave you all with two parting ideas. The idea of relishing in failure, but more so, the rare opportunity of doing so collectively. Thank you.
Catherine LaPuente graduates today with a cross-continental Master of Public Health degree. After completing her undergraduate degree in global public health at NYU last May, she continued to push herself forward in her public health career. This past year, she worked with migrant populations in New York City, Accra, and Abu Dhabi, gaining global practical experience. Specifically, she served as an interpreter and provided community outreach for uninsured immigrant populations in the Bronx. And Marie Stopes International in Ghana, she investigated the health issues of rural to urban migrant women in Accra. And in Abu Dhabi, she worked alongside students to provide recreational activities and English language opportunities for migrant domestic workers. As she returns to New York City, she hopes to utilize the global experiences she's acquired in the cross-continental MPH program to design and implement community-level programs that build resilience and empower refugee communities.
Good morning, faculty, staff, family, friends, and fellow graduates. Retrospectively speaking, I can say that a world map I received from my father as a child was foreshadowing of the types of aspirations and passions I would have later on in life. The map was inspired by Doctors Without Borders and read the following quote: "We find out where conditions are the worst, the places where others are not going, and that's where we want to be." This quote, which was the basis for my college essay into NYU as an undergrad and my own personal motivation to contribute to the world through public health, has adapted many different meanings over time. One of the interpretations is to take risks. Speaking for the Cross-Continental Master of Public Health cohort, I can attest that we are indeed a group of 14 risk takers, boundary pushers, and pioneers. We have pushed boundaries with each other, challenged and frustrated each other, but also ultimately learned from each other. And for the global journey that I was able to embark on this past year with my fellow 13 other members, I am grateful. It was an honor to work with you all. A second interpretation is that taking risks is intrinsically tied to passion. Passion is what motivates and pushes us forward, propelling us to go beyond everything we know to be familiar. Passion is what will drive us as we navigate the political ambiguity that seems to surround our field now. Because despite national and international shifts in priorities, protecting and improving the public's health is our common goal. And how we respond to troubling times will be an indication of our character, reflection of the passion that propels us, and will be all the more rewarding. I would like to share an anecdote on why some of us do the work we do. A few weeks ago, an English language student and I were discussing our backgrounds, which quickly turned into a discussion about peace and what that personally meant for each of us. We exchanged our meanings of peace, had discussions of the current world situation, and shared with each other how we each wanted to make a difference for our people. This moment of cultural exchange, she, a migrant from Somalia, and I, the child of immigrants from Latin America, is one of the reasons that makes public health so rewarding. It's a perpetual learning experience, and it's insightful to be able to have meaningful dialogue with people who may seem so different from you, but at the very core, our humanity remains the same. With that, I encourage you, as you move into many different fields of public health, whether it be at the advocacy level or the community level, to listen, engage, and share. The lessons I've learned this past year working with so many different communities are that people want to be heard and, more importantly, understood. It's not just about dropping into communities and offering solutions, but asking people what they need, how their lives can be improved, and taking the time to understand their needs and use our platform as public health practitioners to speak on their behalf. Remind yourself that to provide a voice is a humbling opportunity. Thank you to my family, friends, and the amazing people I have met here at CGPH. Because of your unwavering support, we are able to stand here today and contribute to the betterment of the world and health and beyond. Congratulations, class of 2017.
We're now going to present the College of Global Public Health Awards and Honors. I'm happy to introduce our Director of Educational Advancement and Assessment, Dr. Cheryl Merzel, our Senior Associate Dean for Academic and Faculty Affairs, Dr. Perry Halkitis, and Assistant Professor, Interim Chair, Department of Public Health Policy and Management, Dr. Jennifer Pomeranz, who will present our awards. Dr. Merzel will begin by presenting the Public Health Service and Practice Award.
Hello, everyone, and let me just offer my congratulations to all of our fantastic students and your loving and wonderful supportive families. So it's now time to recognize some of our extraordinary students and faculty, and I'm indeed honored to be able to present the first awards today, the Public Health Practice and Service Awards. These honors are awarded annually to undergraduate and graduate students who demonstrate high levels of scholarship, commitment to the public health community, and who have enormous potential for future contributions to the field of global public health practice and service. So please join me in congratulating Jenna Reich, Amanda Sale, and Alistair Bitsoy, the recipients of our 2017 Public Health Practice and Service Awards. There's more to go. That was just the brief. I wanted to give you a chance to applaud their names, because the way the script goes, you wouldn't have been able to applaud the names, so I thought I would add that. But I'm going to go through each one and tell you about their remarkable accomplishments now. So first, our undergraduate, Jenna Reich. Jenna Reich graduates with a Bachelor of Science with a combined major in Global Public Health and Science. Throughout her time at NYU, she has focused on serving the community through research initiatives, volunteer work, and community building opportunities. Specifically, Jenna has been involved in on-campus organizations that partake in vocal performances for patients at the NYU Langone Medical Center and spearheaded group visits to local senior centers. Jenna has also participated in many research projects that focus on how to best alleviate chronic pain using innovative and integrative methods. These research opportunities have allowed Jenna to utilize the analytical methods that she has learned in her studies in order to benefit the health of the local community. During a gap year prior to beginning her time at NYU, Jenna volunteered at a foster home, which sparked her passion for raising awareness of and funding for foster care programming. After graduation, Jenna intends to continue fulfilling her passions for helping others by applying to medical school and ultimately achieving her goal of becoming a physician. So let me present the award now to Jenna Reich. So our next undergraduate is Amanda Sale. That's right. Amanda graduates with a Bachelor of Science with a combined major in Global Public Health and Social Work and a minor in Child and Adolescent Mental Health Studies. She is passionate about policy, specifically health and education policy. During her 4 years as an undergraduate, she has been actively involved in the Peer Health Exchange, an organization focused on bridging the gaps in health equity by teaching skills-based health education workshops to 9th graders in New York City. She now holds the position of co-coordinator, where she leads and trains over 100 NYU volunteers. She has also conducted research looking at the correlation between HIV and substance abuse in Cape Town, which was published in the 2016 Journal of the International AIDS Society. Amanda's work with marginalized populations has inspired her to work towards creating opportunities for better access to healthcare, both domestically and internationally. So, Amanda, please come up. Congratulations, congratulations. So let's hear it again for our two undergraduates. So. It's very impressive work. And now from our graduate level, Alistair Bitsoy. Please join me. So, Alistair Lee Bitsoy, you could, sure, why not? Why not? We'll let you do that. Alistair Lee Bitsoy, Navajo, graduates with a Master of Public Health with a concentration in health management and policy. He is from Nachiti, Navajo Nation, New Mexico. Oh. Yeah. His Navajo clans are Toahani, near the Water People clan, and Kinya'ani, the towering people, house people. Alistair was recently awarded the NYU Global Public Health Service and Leadership Award for significant contributions to public health at the university and in the community through efforts outside the program's degree requirements. He plans to continue serving tribal communities post-graduation where there is extreme need to improve the health outcomes in Indian country. Along with his newly minted NYU degree, Alistair also holds a dual Bachelor of Arts degree in Political Science and Criminal Justice from Gonzaga University in Spokane, Washington. Go Zags, right?
Go Zags.
When not studying, Alistair is a freelance writer for the Navajo Times, where he was an award-winning reporter from 2011 to 2015. And let me just say, on a personal note, I had the pleasure of having Alistair in my internship class last semester, and I was really able to see close up the phenomenal work he did on his internship last summer in New Mexico, working on domestic violence issues with the tribal communities there. So, and Alistair, my pleasure to congratulate you. And now I'd like to introduce my colleague, Dr. Perry Halkitis, the Senior Associate Dean for Academic and Faculty Affairs.
Good afternoon, everyone. How are we doing? Yeah? Good, good, good. And thank you, Cheryl. It's been a complete honor and pleasure working with you the last 4 years. I'm here to present the 2017 Public Health Research Awards. These awards are given annually to undergraduate and graduate students who have made significant contributions to research here at NYU or the community throughout efforts outside of the program degree requirements. So I was thrilled to find out that these two scholars whom I'm about to present received these awards for research excellence. Not only because they are two of the finest students I have taught in my 20 years at NYU, not only because they are both excellent researchers, but also because they are two proud gay men conducting research to address the health disparities gay men face. Unfortunately, discussions of diversity too often cast aside or diminish the struggles of LGBTQ people of all races, ethnicities, and cultures, while millions of us continue to be victimized and marginalized even in academia, and where our brothers and sisters in places like Chechnya and here in the United States, in New York City, continue to be harassed, tortured, and also killed because of who we are and whom we love. We, as public health researchers, must combat this prejudice, and through the power of science, fight it with open hearts and open minds. So recognizing both these young men, whom I've had the honor of teaching and with whom I've had the honor of conducting research, has meaning beyond these awards themselves. Please join me in congratulating our 2017 award recipients, William Christopher Godell and Paul Brown. William Godell, William, come on up. I thought your mother called you Billy before.
She does.
Okay. Billy
That was
Godell.
fine.
William Godell graduates with a Bachelor of Arts with a combined major in Global Public Health and Sociology. He is also a recipient of the NYU College of Arts and Sciences Dean's Scholarship. His research interests relate to the epidemiology, prevention, and treatment of HIV infection among gay and bisexual men. Since June 2014, he has worked under the mentorship of Dr. Dustin Duncan, at the Spatial Epidemiology Lab at the NYU School of Global Public Health, where he designed and implemented studies focusing on the influence of neighborhood environments on health. He also has served as a research assistant at the Center for the Study of Social Inequalities and Health under Dr. Mark Hudson-Buehler at the Columbia University Mailman School of Public Health since June 2015, and he spent a little time in our lab, the Center for Health Identity, Behavior, and Prevention Studies. While at NYU, he has received over $10,000 in grants to fund a program of independent research projects through the NYU College of Arts and Sciences Dean's Undergraduate Research Fund, for which he was named the Wilfred L. and Ruth S.F. Peltz Research Scholar and the Max Bronner Research Scholar. And get this, he has published 15 peer-reviewed publications. 15. In journals such as AIDS and Behavior, and serves as an associate editor for the Journal of Young Investigators. William is a two-time winner of the Best Student Poster Award at the NYU Langone Medical Center Health Disparity Symposium, and a member of the International AIDS Society, the American Public Health Association, and the Society for Epidemiological Research. And I am thrilled to let you know that William Billy will be pursuing a PhD in the Department of Epidemiology at the Brown University School of Public Health in Providence, Rhode Island in September. Congratulations to William Godell. Yeah. Paul Brown. Paul Brown graduates with a Master of Public Health with a concentration in social and behavioral health. He is the principal investigator of the Shabab study, a cross-sectional study exploring experiences of ethnic discrimination, homophobia, and sexual risk behavior among Arab men who have sex with men living in the United States. He conducted the study out of the NYU Center for Health Identity, Behavior, and Prevention Studies, where he has been an invaluable member of our team for the past year and a half. Thank you, Paul. Paul is also currently an HRTP intern at the New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene in the Bureau of HIV/AIDS Prevention and Control. In this role, Paul works with the Bureau's External Affairs team on its LGBTQ Health Project, an initiative to improve the health of LGBTQ New Yorkers through innovative programs. Prior to his career in public health, Paul worked with both the Arab American community and the LGBTQ community, albeit separately, in Washington, D.C. Paul's academic work at CGPH has been an attempt, a successful attempt, I say, to bridge the gap between those communities. Paul was awarded a Foreign Language Area Studies Fellowship in the summer of 2013 to study Arabic in Amman. He holds a BA and MA in Middle Eastern and North African Studies from the University of Arizona. And Paul is going to submit that Shabab study for an R21 award, isn't he? Yes, he is. Congratulations to Paul. And now it is my pleasure to introduce, oh, I forgot that part, right? My colleague and friend and all-around great person, assistant professor and interim chair of the Department of Public Health Policy and Management, Jennifer Pomerantz.
Thank you. I was so moved by William's mom that my garb came off. What a wonderful, great students we have. And in fact, I've taught about half of you, at least, in the audience. You're amazing, amazing group. A special shout out to my research lab. I'm so proud of you guys. Thank you, Barry. And now it's my distinct pleasure to invite the recipients of our 2017 Public Health Social Justice Awards to stage. Social justice is the underpinning of public health, if you can't tell from all the speeches that you've heard before. These awards are given annually to undergraduates and graduate students who have shown significant contributions to social justice in our community at NYU and the greater world outside of the program requirements. So for our undergraduate our undergraduate award recipient, Carolyn Fan, I'm very pleased to provide her with an award. Come on up. Carolyn's from Vernon Hills, Illinois. She graduates with a Bachelor of Arts with a combined major in global public health and sociology and a minor in history. She served as the undergraduate president of CGPH's Student Governing Council, the president of the Asian Pacific American Medical Student Association, a member of APA Bridge, and a coordinator of Project Outreach. In the public health sphere, she served as the lab coordinator of NYU's SEED program, a peer mentor at Apisha Community Health Center, and associate director of research of the NYU Tobacco Research Lab. Her long-term mission is to use public health research to alleviate Asian American health disparities and uplift marginalized communities. Carolyn is the College of Arts and Sciences Presidential Honor Scholar, one of NYU's 2017 top 10 most influential students, and a President's Service Award recipient. Please join me in congratulating Carolyn. And from our graduate level, we have 2 award recipients, Lisa Martinez and Murtala Sanchez. I'd like to note that they are 2 of the founding members of our student-run Health and Human Rights Association, a legacy that they and the other founding members are bringing on to the next generation at CGPH, and we're really thrilled about that. So first, Lisa, she was born and raised in Columbia, where she studied medicine. Lisa graduates with a master's in public health from the concentration of global health. She worked as a primary care physician for several years among deprived populations. Since moving to New York with her family in 2017, she's worked on research projects including glaucoma research with Mount Sinai and water research with private contractors. She was also part of the Columbia University Community Impact Team, which provides opportunities for those who dropped out of school in the US or in their home countries. Seeing issues of social inequity and their need for solution has motivated Lisa to join the MPH program, but she has become a true leader here at the school, and we're quite proud of her. Please join me in congratulating Lisa. Murtala graduates with a Master of Public Health also from the concentration of global health. As a first-generation Salvadoreña, Murtala's family history and personal experiences have influenced her academic trajectory and social justice work. From her time in Los Angeles Public High School to Yale College and now CGPH, she has fought for her communities while also working with low-income, undocumented individuals at clinics, incarcerated individuals in legal settings, Latina survivors of sexual and domestic violence at a women's center, people who inject drugs at a needle exchange program, and the LGBT community in El Salvador. She has had the privilege of incorporating her passion for social justice in her research pursuits and career interests, gaining knowledge about how gender expression and identity, sex, sexuality, sexual orientation, disability, race, ethnicity, immigration, documentation, and socioeconomic status all impact health. She has thus led conversations about health disparities, power, hate, oppression, freedom, and liberation. With the soul of an activist, her practice of public health is embedded in social justice as she advocates for sustainable public health solutions, policy change, human rights, equity, as well as the delivery of public health to people where they live, learn, work, and play. Please join me in congratulating Murtala. Thank you, everyone. I'd like to now introduce my colleague, Dr. Matthew Lau, the Arthur Zintrin Professor of Bioethics and the Director for the Center of Bioethics here at NYU. He will be presenting the 2017 Outstanding Bioethics Graduate Student Award.
Thank you, Jennifer, and good morning, everyone. It's my great honor to welcome Chrissy Dar, the recipient of our 2017 Outstanding Bioethics Graduate Student, to the stage. Come on up, Chrissy. Chrissy Dar graduates today with a Master of Arts in Bioethics. She received her BA from Princeton University and her JD from University of Virginia School of Law. She now practices law in New York, and her primary research interests include legal treatment and protection for biomedical subjects, medical anthropology, and neuroethics. Please join me in congratulating Kristen Dar. I'd now like to welcome back Nodar Kipshitsi to present our next award.
Thanks, Dr. Lau. Each year, the graduating MPH class is asked to nominate the faculty member who they feel provides exceptional instruction and care to their students. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Emily Goldman, recipient of NYU Global Public Health's 2017 Excellence in Public Health Faculty Award. Dr. Goldman is a clinical assistant professor at the College of Global Public Health. Her research centers on the social determinants of mental illness and suicidal behavior. Recent work includes the examination of comorbidities between mental and physical illness and the role of social context in comorbidity. As a StrokeNet Fellow, Dr. Goldman is currently identifying factors associated with depression symptom trajectories following stroke. Additionally, she's working on a pilot study to evaluate the efficacy of a low-intensity intervention to prevent and reduce symptoms of depression and anxiety among stroke survivors using mobile technologies. Dr. Goldman worked previously as an epidemiologist in the Bureau of Mental Health at the New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene, conducting surveillance and other studies. Emily holds an MPH and PhD in epidemiology from the University of Michigan School of Public Health. Just as important, she holds the high esteem of both her colleagues on the faculty and of her students, who voted that she should receive this prestigious award, or honor, sorry. Congratulations, Dr. Goldman.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Nodar. I can't tell you how much this means to me, especially coming from you guys, the students. I'm incredibly honored and so proud of all of you. While I'm at the podium, my colleagues on the faculty have asked that I take a moment to voice our heartfelt gratitude and enormous respect for the tireless efforts of our Dean, Dr. Cheryl Hilton. Our college is just 2 years old. It takes a very special person to helm a startup as ambitious as ours. Cheryl has started a college from scratch, mobilized its leadership, motivated its faculty and staff to work long hours, to establish internal infrastructure, develop departments, and double its class size in just a few years' time. It's a job that Cheryl has taken on with enthusiasm, and she inspires us every day with her energy, her dedication, and her passion for public health. For being a remarkable role model, for your tenacity, and for your commitment to make the College of Global Public Health the best place to work and study, our faculty, staff, and student body salute you. Thank you, Cheryl. And now I'd like to welcome back Dr. Perry Kalkitis.
Oh, look, I'm back. One more time. Before we actually do calling your names, I want to just relay a quick story for you. The last time I was in this hall was 1995, and I was sitting right there, somewhere, and my mom was sitting right there with my niece, who was about 8 months old at the time, and now she's doing her master's degree in data analytics. And at the time, I was just finishing this amazing career that I'd had for 6 years, being a science teacher to some of the smartest students I've ever met in my life at the Hunter College campus schools. And 2 of those students were Michael and Rebecca Byrne. So, what's that all about? This is to tell you that life is truly amazing and wonderful and magical, right? And so that take the paths, any path that is open to you. Don't necessarily take the direct path. Take the circuitous path, because ultimately it will be more interesting and more fulfilling. And on that, I'm supposed to cue something now, right? Cue the video.
Hi, my name is Alina.
Hi, my name is Donia Abdallah.
I am Brandon Camacho.
Hi, my name is Jenna Reich.
Hi, my name is Milena Dalton.
Hi, I'm Kelly McBride-Folgers.
Hello, my name is Mahathi.
Hi, my name is William Godell.
Hi, my name is Baki Muigai.
Hello, my name is Mila Shapova.
Hello, my name is Alistair Bitsoy.
Hello, my name is Mabel.
Hi, my name is Sarah Sebton.
Hello, I'm Eve Wool.
Hello, I'm Emily Chin. Congratulations, class of 2017. We finally did it.
I'll give a shout out to my fellow MPA and PH dual degrees that are graduating with me this year.
Shout out to the other MSW and PH students.
Thanks to my parents, hi mom, and everyone who's cheered me on the last 4 years.
For everyone that read my paper and pushed me to go forward, thank you. Thank you to all my professors.
Hi to my study buddies. My biggest shout out goes to Navina and the Student Affairs team.
Shout out to my mom and dad and my family. Thanks for coming and supporting me today. Shout out to the Student Government Council. It's been a great year. We did a lot. I'm gonna miss you guys.
My experience at NYU meant opportunities that I probably wouldn't have had anywhere else.
It really meant a lot this year when I did my capstone project and we went to Uganda. It was a really amazing experience. It was just like a moment where everything clicked.
I was part of the Tobacco Research Lab. I was able to work with Dean Cheryl Hilton, Dr. Donna Malone, Dr. Michael Weitzman. It was such a fantastic experience.
I had an internship with the UN Commission on Life-Saving Commodities for Women and Children at UNICEF.
I landed an internship with UNFPA in the Humanitarian and Fragile Context branch.
The Applied Global Health Initiative. Through that, I worked with UNICEF, all sorts of research with the Narrowing the Gaps initiative and their EQUIS project.
I definitely won't miss New York City winters.
And one thing I probably won't miss is the weather. It's a lot colder than I had thought. Can it just be warm already?
I'm not going to miss all those all-nighters that we've all taken, but at the same time, when else in our life is our sole purpose going to be just to learn?
I won't miss the exams. They're incredibly stressful, and I don't like them.
And being on the subway with hundreds of people at 5 p.m. on my way to class.
I am not going to miss late nights. I'm looking forward to being a fully employed adult without homework.
Something I am going to miss is all the free food that this university gives us.
One thing I'm really going to miss is my cohort. I think through the years, we really built this community, and I'm definitely going to miss them a lot.
But I think I will miss my classmates and my friends that I made here and seeing them every day.
Fostering relationships was one of the best experiences ever. Also with your professors. Some of them are so close to you, they're like family.
I'm definitely going to miss Washington Square as campus. It's kind of my favorite part of the city, and I like that it was my academic hub.
Sad, but at the same time, definitely bittersweet. Looking back, I wouldn't have chosen to be anywhere else.
I want to come back to academia as a professor and as a researcher.
So I'm employed as a research coordinator, and I would like to eventually get my PhD, and I would like my focus to be in women's reproductive health and the intersection of economic justice.
I hope to go to medical school and become a physician.
And I'd like to be a voice for LGBT people in the United States and around the world.
Hopefully I end up working with grassroots women's groups in order to make a difference at that level.
My goal is to become an OBGYN physician.
I hope to continue to affect the lives of women and children and impact their health outcomes.
It means a lot to me. I grew as a person, as an individual. I finally know what I'm gonna do in my life.
Fight for what you believe in and be as active as you can.
It's really important that we work towards changing systems so that they're more equitable.
It's important to really get to know the people that you work with and understand really what's going on in their lives or celebrate their birthdays. And that advice has really stuck with me and served me really well.
So I just wish everybody the best in all their endeavors.
Continue making this impact, whatever it means to you. Continue making the difference and continue saving the world.
So you do your best, even go above and beyond.
Have fun. We did it, and thank you for an amazing time.
I'm so proud to say that I'm graduating with this class. It's been an honor. You guys are doing such great things. I can't wait to call you my colleagues in the future, if not now. It's been real, but it's time to go. Thank you guys so much.
So, the presentation of our graduates, our undergraduates, our MPH students, our MA students, and our certificate graduates. I ask the first row of graduating students to stand and assemble. First, we will present our students who have successfully fulfilled the global public health components of their Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science degrees in their disciplines. President Hamilton, Dr. Byrne, and Dean Hilton, please join us. Dean Avina, will you join me at the podium? Undergraduates, are we ready?
Are we starting? Let's wait. Can I see that first name? Natasha Puri. Emily Sanders. William Billy Christopher Goodell. Amanda Sale. Carolyn Fan. Sarah Kohlberg. Francesca Flink. Jenna Reich. Uzma Nawaz. Brandon Camacho. Taylor Colby. Sophie Reutblatt. Sonia Contreras Martinez. Shenley Philogene. Melanie Desiree Maglero. Tosh Marie Campbell. Johanna Pena. Tanya Katerine. Yanith Okoa. Sristi Pradhan. Israt Hussain. We're going to slow it down so you guys can really appreciate your moment on stage. And so everyone has an opportunity to clap. Okay. Natalie Toby. Kea Patel. Catherine Darcy. Azam. Jessica Marr. Amelia Salzgiver. Maliha Mahmoon. That's some love. Ashna Jane. Minji Kim. Eunice Park. Aya Husseinian. Elizabeth Leff. Danielle Vildorf. Mary Kate Engstrom. Karen Caruso. Norita Eva Wilson. Erica Arnold. Congrats, Katie. Katie Kwan. Keith Anthony Bonus. Christine Carabandi. Lisa Kim. Soan Kim. Irene Chen. Suam Lee. Rachel Langer. Shirley Wu. Pariti Bhargava. Tiffany Chang. Catherine Pratt. Emily Chin. Melody Ho. Minji Kim. Mohammed Hussein. Ardalan Kalafi. Jan Ileto. Tanushri Lad. Kristen Menke. Ashley Holyfield. Vivian Gao. Alexandria Tart. Shermani Essen. Diana Bryce. Alexis Hudson. Marguerite Ruzich. Sydney Pereira. Gabriella Klein. Tajmina Akhtar. Constantina Menegas. Kumon Papadopoulos. Liwen Wee. Hedda Bogue. Okay. Fernando Sanchez. Monica Naparst. Leah Ma. Megan McDermott. Jenki Jethalal. Ushma Patadia. Hayoung Kyung. Ting Zhang. Julie Sato Baran. Phoenix Underwood. Stephanie Gabrielle Stanley. Andrea Perez. Raquel Arias Camison. Octavia Mulhern. Erica Rodriguez. Julia Aker. Shilpa Vinigandla. Rebecca McCarthy. Douglas Gregory Chan. Let's hear it for our undergraduates. Yes. Woo! Your turn.
And now we are proud to present our graduates, Masters of Public Health and Masters of Arts. Alistair Bitsoi. Paul Alfred Brown. Lisa Martinez. Suba Nasima Shake. Nodar Kipshidze. Catherine Lapuente. Myrtala Romelia Sanchez. Yulong David Ho. Jessica Teets. Leila Khan. Lindsay Kirshner. Shama Javeri. Dolly Thomas. Koshfia Hawk. Amanda Mackle. Shelby Oyklaus. Maren Qureshi. Ezra Jerome. Simoy Ligal. Katie Sen. Yanru Lee. Jenny Shurston. Mila Shapoval. Cara DeRoy. Alex Bragg. Karina Shah. Amy Gillespie. Stephanie Serafino. Lauren Hemley. Sherry Ann Santarina. Lena Tran. Eve Wool. Angelica Bravo. Megan Chmielewski. Elizabeth Robinson. Jose Alejandro Romani. Kaylee Shepard. Stephanie Norman. Siddharth Rach. Stephanie Rettig. Mahati Vokhala. Anne Domadog. Jennifer Trinier. Rebecca Carter. Claire Lee Masters. Hannah Bertiger. Lindsay Sack. Anaga Rai. Boki Mwegai. Anne Muthi. Irene Orejudos. Pauline Labella. Sarah Sebton. Stephanie Ann Smith. Ingrid Wells. Stephen Fernandez. Ruthann Holliday. Emily Yonalai Phillips. Milena Dalton. Jason Harris. Leslie Jones. Bhumi Patel. Zichao Su. Xin Wen. Chao Shin. Tonchi Qian. Donya Said Abdullah. Sorry. Dr. Sosan Jabber. Dr. Hala Kuba. Oluwatome Oluwasanmi. Tanisha Richardson. Greg Van. Taylor McEwen. Samantha Fisher. Michael Bride. Jason Ciano. Janvi Thurpan Patel. Catherine DiMartini. Oliver Gitalo. Michael Kwan. Corey Hammond. Sarah Dresser. Shona Matty. Palika Bacha. Jeffrey Darko. Oh. Janelle Linton. Anita Saini. Grace Kim. Efra Chaudhry. Maya Mills. Swathi Sa. Nia McCrae. Annie Restuccia. Adrian Zungron. Jesse Bradford Rogers. Tracy Schnittman. Rose Aka James. Ipsitha Krishnan. Gabrielle Lynn Smith. Safika Kimani. Avery Dorgan. Lindsay Crush. Rebecca Popkin. Rashida Das. Vivian Valdez. Kritin Supapanchart. Shabo Bobian. Gabriel Felder. Jamila Highland. Onomi Erkar. Mabel Sigbatha. Danielle Melissa Joyner. Chinaka Ukachu. Nafisa Kani. Sirisha Komakola. Nidhi Verma. Wenqing Zhuang. Sienna. And those are our MPH graduates. So let's give them a round of applause. Now our graduates with Masters of Arts in Bioethics. Michael S. Dauber. Kelly McBride Fockers. Kristen Dar. Everyone, one round of applause for the class of 2017.
Wasn't that wonderful? Congratulations to all of you. I want to thank each and every one of our wonderful speakers, and let me say congratulations one last time to all of our graduates. Family and friends, I ask that you please allow our faculty to proceed out of the auditorium first, followed by our graduates. Please then join us for a celebratory reception at Arena, just a short walk from here at 135 West 41st Street. Thank you so much. Congratulations.